My name is Lisa Brüning. I'm theatre directress from Berlin. I'm writing partly my plays myself, working a lot with associative writing, working a lot with research in geographically or politically relevant sites. And I did a time my research outside the theatre and brought it back into the space, but somehow it felt like the black box or the closed space is like not serving anymore for certain ways of research, discussion, creating pieces. So I went more and more out of the theatre, like did more pieces also in galleries or in the specific site. And of course this residency, Performative Landscapes, sums pretty much everything up that I've been searching since the last 2 years. But it's very hard to find those places because it's still very parted. Theatre is still a very parted discipline where like a director is a director and the actor is an actor. So it's like very beautiful to work in this very blending interdisciplinary way with different artists. Performative landscape, I think it's an amazing motto to work with right now. Especially after this, it's a strange term, but after this Corona time and after we've been experiencing like empty cities or landscapes without human bodies. I think especially in these times, working with the relationship of nature and the human body is something that really matters. I want to work with a project about the meaning of the ocean in our times. So actually, I want to create a piece to talk about the ocean from different angles, like from a philosophical angle, from a climate political angle, of course, because Scandinavia, Copenhagen, it's surrounded by oceans. It's a fact that the water is kind of rising, and 70% of the earth is water. So this relationship of human influencing on making water to land, what happens here and the other way around, and then just a very big longing about actually what is it that makes us wanting to be at the ocean, wanting to live close by the ocean, is something that interested me a lot to research here because it's just very present everywhere. Actually, in the main week of research, I got sick because I was, it was not sure if I had corona actually. So my whole research topic somehow transformed from this rather outer climate topic to a very micro topic. Suddenly this topic became very concrete of taking responsibility for something bigger than your own body. Which is actually what I do a trace now about, because it's somehow connected to the whole climate topic, because I think indeed the similarity is that we are influencing climate every day, but we just don't see it as visible as now with the coronavirus. It seems to be more understandable for us when things are happening in our own body. It's quite weird, but also quite amazing that now, on a bigger scale, collective decisions have been brought into life and actually things can change very quickly and very easily. So I will do an associative walk called Oceanic Feeling in Social Distancing, in times of social distancing. So it's more about the longing of something that is actually not there right now. I will start in Nørrebro at a bench where actually I experienced the first embracement after 4 months of social distancing. So I often work like from a very personal or like very detailed point of view to talk then about larger general topics, because I'm very interested in this subjective view of history and actually how place becomes a site. So this will be my starting point. Then we will be walking to the Corona Test Center in Fælleparken. And then we will actually end at the ocean, Amager Strand, to kind of conclude with my official search of longing, of being actually connected to a larger whole. So I somehow melt those topics into each other. Yes, this residency, what was amazing to take part in was basically giving me a space to research, to just be, to let things settle that were actually there for a long time, but just to have space to not be forced in a productive, like production mode for 4 weeks, but to have actually 4 weeks to research with other artists from different disciplines. It's a very huge luxury, I think, because of course you have to work very differently most of the time. In this time after the Corona crisis, I think working in public space has become something very different, because I think more than ever, every step we do somehow in public space becomes a decision or an act of social formation somehow. Like suddenly, I mean, I think any time, every step matters, but suddenly it matters in a different way. Like, do I take a distance? Do I do a test? Do I care for, I don't know, like bodily weaker persons than myself, for example? And I think it's a very fruitful time for working in a site-specific space and in public space, because it's a very fragile and very loaded space right now to actually be aware of your own body in a landscape and in contact with other persons. And I think this changed a lot through the time we just experienced before, which was actually very interesting to have the residency just after. And that's also why I will do a trace about it, because this whole ocean longing thing, it's deeply inside of me, but it will wait, because the other thing just was more present right now. And yes.